What is good, everybody? We are back from what feels like an incredibly long break. What's good, Dixon? What's up, chat? I'm here with the Octagon's King JJ. We're going to run through the entire UFC Vegas 107 card. It's an absolute barn burner of a card, bro. What do you think?
I mean, bro, honestly, after a week without UFC, this feels like UFC 300. I'm not even going to lie to you.
Yeah, no, 100%. I just want fights, bro. NBA is going to put me in the grave, dude. It's literally going to put me under. So it's also a hard fucking card for the cycle, bro. It's a really hard card for the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Minimal submission opportunities this week. Honestly, there's some decent KOs. I think there's a lot of decision looks. But it's not the worst card in the world, but it's up there. So
it really isn't.
You can just make some money on it, then it doesn't matter though. Let's get started with the prelims. First fight of the night, Santos versus Ardelean. What do you think about this start to the card, bro?
I mean, to be honest, Dos Santos, I feel like she's been a little bit underrated. Her first few fights, she's lost all of them, but two of them were like split decisions and somewhat controversial, right? I feel like she's defensively wise. She's kind of new to MMA despite her record. She's more of a jiu-jitsu girl. She's got a lot of missions on her record. And I think that Ardelean's a little bit sloppier, but a little bit more aggressive, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I agree. I like those Santos contender series. Like, go the distance with Denise Gomes. Like, that's impressive to me. We saw that girl up close and personal at the fucking Apex, bro. And Denise is a killer, dude. She is literally a killer. So, that was back in 2022, but even going the distance, I like that performance. Then she fought Pooja Tumar. I like that performance too. I feel like Tumar just got caught in that armbar, but I feel like she looked great in that fight. So, like, I kind of like some of this chick's losses,
Yeah.
I was looking at this as a decision leg, bro. It's like minus 140 or something, but what do you think about that?
Here's what I'm saying. Like, Ardelean's not going to give up easy if she gets caught in something. It's going to be one of those where you're going to sweat a little bit. If it goes to the mat,
Yeah.
If there are some exchanges where Dos Santos is moving on a submission, you're going to sweat a little bit. But if she's unable to take this fight to the ground, which could happen because her takedowns aren't always that effective, this is just going to be one of those sloppy striking exchanges where it goes all 3 rounds and you're an easy decision cash. So
yeah,
I think the decision play could be good on either end. If you're feeling brave and taking the Ardelean decision play, like Dos Santos lost 2 split decisions out of her first 3 losses in the UFC. So
I don't know what to do with this one. I might pass on it altogether. I was looking at the favorite by decision here for the cycle because I'm trying to get like an easy decision leg in the cycle, but it's never easy, bro.
It's never easy. Never easy. You know this.
I could see at least winning a split decision, bro. Like, she was on the wrong end of a split decision against Bannon.
Mm-hmm.
That was Edwards. That was the Blau versus Edwards card. So I don't know.
Both ladies go to close decisions.
Yeah.
Basis.
I probably won't touch the fight if I'm being honest. So
yeah,
let's move on. What do you make of this one, bro? Because like Oki's loss has kind of aged decently. We see how good Chris Duncan has aged, bro. Chris Duncan is becoming a fucking monster, dude.
Yeah.
Like, outside of that Manuel Torres fight, like, he rattles off 2 straight finishes. But I kind of think Oki's somewhat underrated here. This could be a bounce back spot for him. What do you like here?
So here's the thing. This Aswell guy, he fought Brogdon Grad in what was a good contender series fight last year. And that was at featherweight. So he's moving up on to lightweight in short notice. So he's usually a featherweight going up to lightweight. So I think there's going to be a power advantage for Oki, who's already a very powerful guy.
Mm-hmm.
Before he came into the UFC, we've seen Oki get some good highlights and all that. Once he came to the UFC, he kind of slowed down a little bit, but that usually happens with some of these guys once they move up in competition. But this could be a good highlight moment for either guys because Aswell's coming up short notice. He's got nothing to lose. But Oki's got that pressure where he needs to get a finish, I think. At this point in his career, I believe this is his 3rd UFC fight. I think he's going to be looking for that finish. He's going to have a power advantage, a good reach advantage too, 4 inches in reach. I think he's got everything to win this fight. but Aswell is like durable. You can't sleep on him either.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. It's another. The both first two fights tonight are pretty close. I liked Oki. I honestly did. I liked Oki in this spot, but I'm a little bit hesitant here as well. Honestly, what's that KO prop? I do want to take a look at that.
I got it right here.
Are these odds, he's Oki's minus 375 now. Is that right?
That's weird. No, it was.
He's minus 375 Hard Rock right now, bro. That's fucking insane.
Yeah, no, that makes no sense. Unless we got some movement in behind the scenes, but
bro. Hold on, let me check some other apps real quick.
I just checked FanDuel and it says 385. I'm on the VPN checking all the American apps right now. So let's see. DraftKings. That's odd. If he's that wide, I don't know if I'm taking him.
He is, bro. He's minus 385 on FanDuel, dude.
I don't like that.
On FanDuel.
I thought the minus 186 was fair when I first saw it.
Yeah, he had some crazy big money come in on him.
Yeah,
that's absolutely insane.
Too, so
yeah, it's dog or pass for me now, but I kind of want to see that Oki by KO prop comes in at though.
Yeah, it's plus 145 on DraftKings right now.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it's really not bad. If you get plus money in a fight like this, it's not bad.
Maybe I'll take a look at that.
Nah, wait. Let me see this. Let me see if this other guy has any submission wins.
Yeah,
because the to Aswell to win by sub is plus 4,000.
Yeah,
and now he's got 0 submission wins now. And Oki, he only lost by submission once, I think, and it was to Chris Duncan.
It was Duncan, and that was a crazy guillotine, bro.
It was one of those. Real Thor says Oki's older, weighs a bit more of a reach. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He has all the physical attributes in this fight, and Aswell's coming in short notice, normally a featherweight. At featherweight, he's durable, right?
I might look at this. I'm going to watch some more tape, but I might look at this as a KO leg. I have a couple other options here.
Here's an interesting thing about Aswell. He went to the decision with Yadir Devale, right? The guy we saw last week.
Yeah. So
his losses are quality losses, right? Vontae Brown's quality and Yadir Del Valle's quality. He's got a young career, but 24 by the way.
Durable.
He's durable, but it's just tough when you're coming in short notice against a guy like Oki. So I think the KO value is there for this fight on Oki.
Yeah. What's another weird fight, bro? Let's move on. Contender Series guy, Gustafsson versus Trevin Giles. Giles is a guy that he just comes off the couch, bro, and fights like killers. And he usually loses. That's the thing. He has some good wins in the UFC, but he's getting put away by elite guys though.
Yeah.
Dricus Du Plessis, what was it, Gabriel Bonfim that put him away?
He got some Bonfim KO'd by
he did get in his most recent fight against Mike Malott. So you don't really know what you're going to get with Trevin Giles here, bro. I think everyone's going to be on the Gustafsson KO prop here, and I don't know that he gets it. I really don't. I could see him winning the decision.
He's gritty, right? So that's the thing about Gustafsson. In his fight, in his Contender Series fight, people were expecting him to come in there and just murder the guy in the first round. He did eventually get the finish, but it wasn't a super electrifying finish. It was more knees against the clinch, against the fence in the clinch, and he found a way to get it done. He's got a 70% KO rate, so he definitely knows how to find these finishes. But if Giles hangs on, the thing is, Giles is going to have moments. He's going to seem like he's winning the fight, and then he's probably going to get hit. And that's the thing. That's the question. Is he going to survive that hit or not? Because we saw against Carlos Prates, he was doing pretty well. He was hurting Prates with the jab. But then eventually Prates found that I think it was a right straight, and that ended the fight. So it's tough. The fight's at catchweight too, so that could mean something for durability on both.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's why I like that decision prop even more. Looking at that today, because no one's going to be on that, bro.
UFC debut too, so nerves are probably going to be there a little bit.
Yeah. What's the number? Where'd it go?
Let's see if I got it. I don't think FanDuel has the props out for some. Oh, they do. Gustafsson by points is plus 340, so you definitely have value there.
I mean, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah. The KO's plus 185.
I could see him winning the first 2 rounds and dropping the third and squeaking out a decision.
It's gonna be a sweat. It's gonna be a sweat because with Giles, you've seen how he is, right? He's talented for sure, but then he just gets hit, and sometimes he doesn't handle well with the shots that he gets hit with.
Yeah.
But it's again, as you said, they've all been killers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think he fought Drake. I think he fought Ian Gary, if I'm not mistaken, too. I could be wrong.
I don't think was it.
No,
That was no, I don't think it was Gary.
Roman Dolidze. He beat Roman Dolidze, by the way.
I know that's probably his best win, bro. For being honest, I like the Preston Parsons win too. He's kind of beating, like he's beating the above average guys, but then he's losing to the guys with serious finishing abilities.
Look, Michael Morales, Dracus Duplessis,
he's fighting great killers, dude. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's Gustafsson. He really isn't proven. I can see this going to the cards and then it being a close decision, truthfully.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's going to be an interesting fight.
Yeah. All right, let's move on here. Let's see here. All right, I want to get your opinion on this one, bro, because Jordan Leavitt versus Kurt Holobaugh. Jordan Leavitt took some crazy steam. He was like minus 170. I see him minus 230 today. Mm-hmm. A lot of money coming in on Jordan Leavitt. It's literally because, people think he's just going to smother Kurt Holobaugh, right? Holobaugh's safe on the ground, but he does give up the takedowns. He will give up control time on the ground where he won't give up his back or any crazy submissions, but he will let grapplers hold him down. And then Leavitt has good kicks on the feet. Not the best striker, obviously, but I think he's a high IQ guy. He's got good pressure, good timely takedowns. I really like Jordan Leavitt at minus 170. Now this number has steamed a little bit too much for me. Mm-hmm. I was looking at Leavitt by decision. I don't know if you remember this, but I had Jordan Leavitt by KO back in the day against Victor Martinez, and that shit smacked. It was like 20. What was it? 20-1. It was 17-1.
Yeah,
17-1. It was like needed a head or something. I don't know. Yeah. Do you think Leavitt is live here as the favorite, and what path do you like him at, if so?
So we talked about the decision play, and I don't necessarily dislike it. I just think that you're going to sweat it because this fight is going to hit the mat whether we like it or not. There's going to be control time for both guys, and both guys like submissions. I think Holobaugh, he's been submitted a few times, if I'm not mistaken, or he's been submitted once, and it was a long time ago, so he can survive on the mat. Thing is, he can get taken down a lot. And with Jordan Leavitt, I don't know if he wants to explore that ground game too much. And another thing, Holobaugh gasses out too, which is something I'm worried about. If this goes into like the third round and the round, and if Leavitt's got a good position, he could find something. But I just feel like Holobaugh, he's got a 2-6 UFC record. But again, it's one of those guys where his losses don't really define him because even in the fights he loses, they're kind of close. Like the last one with Alexander Hernandez was kind of close. Then he beat Krzyzewski. Even when he won, it was close. Trey Ogden, kind of close. And then he submitted Austin Hubbard. He's been in these close fights, and I think he can do well surviving against Jordan Leavitt. But my concern is he going to gas out? That's the only thing.
Yeah. I think this is a great matchup for Jordan Leavitt, bro, because Leavitt's never been KO'd. He's only been submitted. Mm-hmm. I think he can win the grappling exchanges, obviously. I think he can win minutes with control time. I think he can even land some damage in this fight with kicks and ground and pound.
Sure.
But I feel like Hubbard's like one of everyone's favorite dogs of the week. I feel like Hubbard and Ludovic Klein. And I actually like both favorites in this fight, so hopefully I'm not square on both those fights, but I think Gamrot's being underlooked, and I think Jordan Leavitt's being underlooked here. But it seems like popular dogs are on Kurt and Ludovic. But I like Jordan Leavitt by decision here, bro. I really was looking at it for the cycle. I think he just smothers him. I would not be surprised if it's a 30-27.
Yeah.
Where Kurt Holobaugh is just safe off his back and just accepts a decision loss. That decision number is plus 130, so it's the most likely outcome of the fight. Jordan Leavitt by knockouts 12-1, and then submissions plus 325.
Here's the thing. Here's what's curious. I agree with your play on Leavitt, and I'm probably going to be doing the same. But just for the people that are back at Kurt Holobaugh out there, just a little bit of hope. The 3 losses that Jordan Leavitt has, in his career are to Claudio Puelles, Paddy Pimblett, and Chase Hooper. All three guys that are probably really, really good at jiu-jitsu. Like
Yeah,
Chase
he just
Hooper,
loses the better grapplers than him. That's it.
yeah. Chase Hooper and Claudio Puelles, great grapplers. Paddy Pimblett, that loss has aged well. And in that fight, too, Jordan Leavitt, by the way, had moments where he was controlling Paddy and then Paddy reversed it. So,
yeah, no, I'm with you.
Too.
I'm Jordan Leavitt by decision. Final answer.
Hmm.
Let's move on. Alan Nascimento versus Jafel Filho. This is a fight where I lean the dog here. I think Filho, I love his performance against Makayev. I like his performances in general. He gets hurt in fights and he rallies. This is one fight where it might be hard for him to get his submission. Nascimento, I believe 15 wins by submission, never been submitted. Is that right?
Yeah, his grappling is absurd, and he is, bro. I swear to God, I've met this guy in person. He's huge for a flyweight. He is huge for a flyweight.
Yeah,
his grappling. I've heard stories of him in the gym. He's insane.
I feel like both guys are big.
Yeah, it's probably 5'7", 5'8" for flyweight. That's the thing is, Nascimento has been so inactive, bro. So inactive. 4 canceled fights since 2023. His last fight was against Carlos Hernandez, which was granted a great fight. He lost to Tagir Ulanbekov by split decision in 2021, and what was a great grappling fight. Mm-hmm. But he hasn't been as active, right? And it's been injuries. There's been injuries, and it's been the weight cut. Because that's the thing about these guys that are a bit larger for the weight class. Sometimes the weight cut hinders their performances or doesn't let them even perform at all. Mm. So I think Jafel Filho as the dog is great value, but I still think Alan Nascimento is going to win. So I'm in a tough spot where I wish this fight was closer in odds. I still think Nascimento is going to win, but I do fully understand the people that are back in Filho just for the fact that he's been on a great roll, and his loss to Makayev was a loss where he almost broke his leg. Right, he had Makayev in a horrible position with his leg.
Yeah. I just don't think Nascimento has a single impressive win in his career, bro.
Yeah.
What names do even excite you? Like, he beat Jake Hadley by decision, who got cut from the UFC.
Yeah.
Carlos Hernandez obviously has no grappling. He just got cut after getting subbed at the Apex a couple weeks ago. Like, Tagir Ulanbekov, like, losing by split decision, to me, that's the most impressive performance.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
You know, he lost to Pava on the Contender Series by split decision. I was looking at Jafel Filho by decision, bro. I'm like, why is this number so high? Because now Nascimento has never been subbed. So I was like, it's plus 425, I believe. Yeah. 425, whereas Nascimento by decision is plus 145. That's a massive difference.
Here's why I'm concerned about the decision play. Nascimento is a guy that's a very quick finisher. So he has 15 submissions. 12 of them are in the first round.
Yeah.
Of those 15. So, and guys usually with this height, bigger guys, and even him in the past, we've seen him gas out in those fights that he loses by close decision because he exerts so much in trying to find that finish early on.
Yeah.
And we have Jafel Filho that we've seen rally when he's in bad positions. Wasn't he like dropped, I think, by who was it? Daniel Barres?
Yeah, and then he subbed him.
And then he subbed him, exactly. So he can rally. It's not like he's just going to give up if he's in a bad position. And if Alan Nascimento gasses out trying to find a submission or even a ground and pound, something like that, and Filho survives, this guy's getting finished in round 2 or 3. That's my concern.
Yeah, 2-3 would be electric. Let me see what that is.
You could probably do a long shot just by those 2 and 3, just round 2.
Round 2 is 9-1. Round 3 is 12-1.
See, like that's not.
I would literally just play the round 2-3. I wouldn't even take the KR sub.
Mm-hmm. You can just do a sprinkle on that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of close matchups on this card, bro. Like a lot, and a lot of weird, like where one guy's inactive, and the other guy is like it's tough. But this will be a fun, entertaining matchup for sure.
Mm-hmm.
On Zach Reese versus Dusko. I've made a lot of money on Zach Reese. I've also gotten fucking crushed on Zach Reese. I'll never forget the Cody Brundage performance where he was about to lock up his rub, get slammed with his head. And then there's other performances where he looks like a world beater, bro. What do you like in this spot? He is a minus 265 favorite.
Yeah. So Zach Reese he goes into one of those categories where Terrence McKinney and Sergey Pavlovich goes, where you just bet the round 1 finish. That's what I've been doing with Zachary Reese up until his last fight where he lost to Azamat Bakoev. Right here and right now, I'm doing this a little bit differently. I do think he's got the advantage here because Todorovic, all his losses come in round 1. Zach Reese, I think all but one of his wins come in. He has 1 win by decision. Everything else is in the first round. I'm not overthinking this. I'm taking Zach Reese to win in round 1, and I'm also taking this fight not to go past round 1 because I think both guys aren't scared to exchange. Todorovic has been in some, not controversial, but some wild exchanges. He did get injured in his first UFC fight too.
Yeah,
so we got to take that into consideration. But I just feel like the Zach Reese finishing power here is too good to ignore.
That's a good comment right there. Dusko by KO. He's training at a new gym, taking the fight more serious. I will say Zach Reese as a big favorite just feels fucked up, bro.
But look at the real odds, the round 1 odds. What are we looking for in Zach Reese? We're not looking for. I mean, you could explore like the round 2s and round 3s, or if he's going to be a little bit more patient.
Yeah.
But I feel like Reese is one of those marketable guys that UFC wants to win, right? Like the UFC does these matchups at times for guys that just lost for a fight they can clearly win, and I think they're going to do the same here for Zach Reese.
I will say Dusko's losses. I think all these guys beat Zach Reese, like Mansour, Abdul Malik, CLD, Chidi and Jaquani, RoboCop, Pinelli Soriano. Like, I would literally take all 5 of those guys over Zach Reese.
That's a good point.
So I think this is a lot closer to a pick'em than the odds are, bro.
Yeah, I mean the odds are there, but I don't think it should be that wide, to be honest. Especially because Zach Reese is coming off a loss that I don't think was that long ago, right? The Yazmat fight was in
January. That was in January, bro.
Bad loss too.
It was some big shots on the ground too. I'm kind of leaning Dusko KO, dude.
I mean, I have fight not to go past round.
Bro. I'm considering it. And then Zach Reese's performance against Jose Medina didn't age well. Medina was supposed to be like this durable guy, and then he gets finished in round 1 in his last fight.
But that guy he lost to, the Gaudier guy, is scary. That guy's
I agree.
Like 23-year-old and he's built like Francis Ngannou and he's a middleweight. It's frightening.
Yeah. I don't know. I have a weird feeling on this one. I agree. If you're gonna play Zach Reese, you go round 1.
Yeah.
I kind of like round 1, 2 for Dusko and round 1 for Reese.
Mm-hmm. I don't disagree. It's gonna be one of those where I'm gonna be very mad if I'm wrong, but at the same time, I feel like just taking the Zach Reese round 1 KO or round 1 finish is just safe. But if it gets past the round 2, I'll be like, all right, fuck it. I'm not gonna overextend myself on the betting for this one. Dusko can take a beating, but Zach can take a punch. Dusko has only lost to killers. True. And in defense of Dusko, he lost to CLD, and the fight he lost to CLD wasn't really like he got hurt or anything like that. He just got injured in the first fight.
And Mansour Abdul Malik is a fucking monster.
Yeah.
And then Chidi and Jaquani, he almost made it to the end of the first round. He did go the distance with RoboCop, bro, but that was back in 2021.
Yeah.
I don't think Zach Reese is on the level of these guys, bro.
Yeah. I think he's just explosive. That's it. The thing is, if this fight goes past round 1, it's all Todorovic. If you see Todorovic get hurt and survive and make it to round 2, this could be a great spot for live bet. I know we don't really talk about live betting much, but if you do enjoy live betting, this is the fight to do it, in my opinion.
For sure. Cycle Parlays dropping tomorrow, boys and girls.
Yes,
all right, let's move on. Guys, I'm going to put the link in the comments right here. If you guys want to get winning picks from my boy Hayjive and my boy Nolan, 3 years straight of profit. Don't rely on my long shots. As you can see, I am on a cold streak. I haven't hit a cycle since fucking, March? So I haven't hit a cycle since March. But as you know, JJ, you can tell them the numbers because I don't even know it because everyone makes fun of my losses. But cycle parlay, if you actually track the cycle parlay, it's up huge.
Yeah, let me look it up. I have it here somewhere. But last I checked, you were up like a sizable amount in all cycles. So
it was six figures, right?
Yeah. It was definitely 6 figures.
Yeah, but I've lost a couple weeks in a row since then, so it's like I threw back. I mean, I throw back a lot, dude. I had the 100K win in December. I had the 100K win in March, and then let's call it 3 weeks out of the month, like when there's 3 cards a month, basically.
Yeah.
I've lost what since March. I've lost how many in a row? 6 or 7. Something crazy, bro.
I have it here. You're up 127,000. Actually, a little bit less because I haven't added the last.
Yeah, I'm
two.
probably up like 115, 115,
Yeah, I
120.
haven't added the last.
That's just
two.
on a cycle parlay, though. That's not
That's
all.
just cycles, but still, people think that you have to hit like a cycle every week. That's not
You
the
have to
case.
hit 1 or 2 a year to make money, but no one.
Let me tell you what happens, bro. People follow the cycle, and then you miss like 2 in a row, and they're like, "I'm not going to follow them. Fuck that." And then the week they don't follow, it hits, and they're like, "God damn it!" And then they do the whole thing again.
Yeah, that's not a bad look. Dusko in the under 1.5 is plus 425 on Hard Rock.
Take that. I think if you're
because that gives us 2.5 minutes in round 1, bro. Or round 2, I mean.
Yeah, especially if one of them gets hurt too. If Reese gets hurt.
All right, let's move on, guys. This is the link. We just posted it right here. If you guys want to get this weekend's picks for free from Hayden and Nolan. Use code 107 at checkout. Let's move on to the main card. Caitlin Vieira versus Macy Chiasson. This is a tough fight, bro. I think it's very close to a 50-50 fight.
Yeah.
But I think something about Macy, bro. I don't know where you land on this fight, but I like Macy's aggressiveness. I like her striking. I think she can get this one done on the scorecards.
Yeah. Thing is, I'm a bit biased on this fight because Caitlin Vieira, when I first started my Instagram page, she's like one of the first few fighters that follow me, and I interacted with her. And ever since, I'm like, I like Caitlin Vieira. Yeah. But here's the thing: she's durable, and she's fought like elite level opponents a few times. She's fought Holly Holm. I think she fought Bueno Silva. She fought Pennington. And in that Pennington fight, she lost, but it was a very controversial fight where many people believed she won. And then she went out there against Kayla Harrison last time around. And I think she obviously lost the fight, but I don't think she looked awful. She looked great against Panic Yamzad. And then she has a win over Misha Tate. She fought Yana Santos. Like, she's been fighting these big names in the division. And I think she's very skilled on the ground. She trains at Nova União, where Aldo trains. She's got 8 decision wins. She's durable. But I think Chiasson has that finishing factor at 135 that not a lot of ladies right now do, except maybe, Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes if she does come back. So if you do, if you're thinking about playing the Chiasson side, I would look at taking her by some sort of finish, because Caitlin Vieira has been knocked out, and Chiasson has a way of finding finishes in weird ways too, which is impressive.
Yeah, Caitlin Vieira's only been knocked out once though, right? And that
was that left hook to Irene Aldana.
Yeah,
bad knockout.
And then the thing with Macy is like she didn't even finish. What's her name? It was a doctor stoppage.
Yeah.
But Mayra Bueno Silva is just so tough, bro. She's crazy. She wanted to continue so badly in that fight.
You see Chiasson's finish on Aldana though.
Yeah, that's kind of why I feel like Macy can win on the scorecards here.
Pennington, she's actually no, sorry. Chiasson got finished by Pennington. My bad.
Yeah, I like the decision whenever Norma Dumont. I can see a similar performance here where it's like a 29-28 on the scorecards for Macy. That's my final answer. But I just like the money line here. Truthfully, I don't depending on the decision number. Let me take a look.
Like regardless of where you go, it's a good line. I think you can be
happy. Decisions plus 140. Like it's just not enough for me. Yeah, I'd rather just take the minus 120 price. In case she gets a doctor stoppage or something.
Yeah, I like this fight.
Yes, sir. All right, let's move on here. Probably one of my favorite fights of the night, just because I'm a big Dustin Jacoby fan. That's my guy. I played with some blackjack with him at UFC Tampa.
Does he
I think he's so underrated at light heavyweight, bias aside. I just think that the guy's, he's 37 years old, but he doesn't fight like it, bro. His chin's still there. He gets tagged at times, but he's not getting like shinned. He's getting like put away by like an accumulation of damage. So I think he's still there. I like his striking. I don't think Bruno Lopes is like good enough to get this fight to the ground and hold Jacoby down. I just don't see that happening. So I think if he does get a takedown, Jacoby will pop back up to the feet. I like the small reach advantage for Jacoby. I think he's just way more technical of a striker. I just think he can get this done on the feet. I like maybe a KO here. I want to put him in the cycle. The KO is only plus 190 though. So I'm looking at it.
Good weight.
But I think he can get it, bro. His last 3 fights, his last 3 wins have come by KO, and he's put away better fighters than Bruno. If we're being honest. So I think he can get this one done.
100%. I'm thinking because I like Jacoby and I agree with you. He's a
great point, bro. The Apex too. Justin Jacoby's gonna be a big boy in that Apex octagon. I never realized how small that octagon is until I went to Gober's fighting 2 weeks ago, bro. You guys will be blown away by how small it is in person. Like, it is small, dude. It is absolutely small.
Here's the thing. Jacoby is technical. He has been hit a few times. And at times that costs him the fight, even when he's winning it, which is kind of frustrating. We saw that against
the Alonzo fight. To me, that was a fluke, bro.
Yeah. And then the Roundtree fight, it says an L on his record. And I had Roundtree on that fight like a bet. But once that fight ended, I was like, fuck, Roundtree definitely lost that fight.
Yeah. That's a good. That would have been a great win too.
Yeah, and he had momentum. He had one, 2, 3, 4 fights in a row. That would make it 5, right? And then they feed him another monster in Morzakhanov, right? Who popped for substances not that long ago, so he's probably on something.
Yeah.
And then he knocked out Kennedy Nzechukwu, who
I had the round 1 KO in that fight too.
Yeah, who's doing great at heavyweight, and then he lost to Alonzo Metafield in a fight where it was frustrating, where he was doing well. But at the end of the round, he would get hurt and sat down. It was annoying. And then Dominic Reyes is proving to be a great guy too. He's bounced back. He's only lost to elite guys. And then he goes out there and he knocks out Vitor Petrino, who had never been knocked out before. He'd been submitted by Anthony Smith, but he had never been knocked out. So I like Jacoby, and he has experience in raw kickboxing, right? He even fought Alex Pereira in kickboxing back in 2014. So this guy's got experience. He's a glory kickboxing fighter, so he's definitely the more technical fighter for sure.
Do you think he can get the KO, or do you think he gets this done on the scorecards?
I think he can get the KO. I think if he's patient with it and he doesn't look for it, I know that sounds weird, but if he does his game, Bruno Lopes could probably get tired. These guys that come into the UFC at times, they're not expecting the levels, right?
Yeah.
And
I didn't realize Bruno Lopes has a KO win over RoboCop, but it was back in 2014.
Yeah, there's some weird wins from a long time ago. Like Vicente Luque knocked out Thiago Santos, the light heavyweight, in 2013, bro. It's some wild shit.
No, I don't really care about 2014, bro. That was 11 years ago. But still, it's just crazy to see.
Yeah.
I have to trust Dustin Jacoby in the KO leg for the cycle, bro.
You're gonna have to put the faith on him, and if
you be top 2 or 3 option as of right now, so we'll see if I get there on it. But that's my guy. So I got another fight I was looking at here. Billy Ray Goff. I was looking at him on the KO. But this dude is super durable, bro. So I actually lean towards the decision prop here. Let me pull up that number again because I thought it was a crazy number. Billy Ray Goff by decision is plus 240. We know he's going to be aggressive. We know he's going to inflict damage. He can get takedowns. He can land a bunch of crazy shit on the feet. If this dude can survive, I think it's an easy decision win for Billy Ray Goff. If this guy can survive for 15 minutes. So I was looking at that at plus 240 too, because the KO number is plus 130. It's so short to me. Against a guy that really hasn't been put away by knockout, has he?
No. This fight's weird, right? Because they were meant to. They had same opponents in the same card. Like they had like an opponent switch, right? Mm-hmm. And I think Ramiz was meant to fight Oban Elliott, and Billy Ray was meant to fight Ko, the Korean guy. And now Ko's going to fight Elliott in Baku in a couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing, Billy Ray. I had a great bet on him, his UFC debut, when he went out there and he knocked out the guy in the first round. I think he had like a round 1 KO prop on him. So I really like Billy Ray because of that. But at the same time, you mentioned Ramiz is durable. He's not just going to go out there and get.
And he's 0-4. Ramiz is 0-4 when it goes the distance. So he's 0 decision wins, 4 decision losses. And what do I always say about the cycle? Give me the better skilled fighter against a super durable fighter for the decision leg. It's like begging me to put this in at plus 240, bro. I want this to be the fight he finally gets knocked out.
I think the cycle this week, I mean, the cycle is always going to be a sweat, bro. You know that. But I think this week, if there's a cycle, it's going to be even sweatier than usual just because these matchups they're tough to predict, right? They're tough to predict. Like you have close fights, and when you have a fighter that you like, you don't really know how he's going to win. That's how I feel like it's been the motto.
I mean, has Billy have ever been subbed? Never been subbed in what? How many professional fights? Only 12 professional fights. The chat likes the Remiz by sub here, which honestly, on a card where there's not a lot of options, you have to at least take a look at it. It's plus 550. I think it's his only path. I truly believe that's his only path to victory for Remiz. I don't think he can win on the scorecards, and I don't think he's knocking out Billy Ray Goff. So if Trey Waters knock him out, I don't know how this guy's going to knock him out. Trey Waters, I think, is the truth, bro. His nickname's the truth. That's hilarious. And he's got a great reach and solid power.
His submission
that performance against Billy.
Yeah. So Brahimaj has 10 submissions.
It makes a ton of sense, bro. I'm starting to sell myself on it on the cycle. Plus 240.
Wafflix, Ray by decision. Yeah. It could be, but by Dilly, yeah. Everyone's on board with that. Rami's been looking good since
Rami's been looking good since training with Bilal more. The Bilal effect.
Yeah, that definitely helps. I don't know. He's got 10 submissions, 9 of them in round 1. That's something to take into consideration. 9 of them happen in round 1. It's like the Nascimento.
Lots of guillotines, rear naked chokes, guillotine.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong fucking tabology. My bad. Hold on. Let me see. He is 10 submission wins. Yeah, rear naked chokes, guillotines, arm triangles. Mostly rear naked chokes and guillotines.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're gonna get Billy Ray Goff on that. I don't know why he would even shoot in this fight.
Yeah. It's tough. I think the decision we go back to the decision because I think that's the one that makes the most logistical sense. Like you said, the more skilled guy against a very durable opponent that could.
Billy Ray Goff's never been taken down in the UFC. Not granted, it's only through 3 fights.
Yeah, he knocked the dude. I still remember the day he came to the UFC and he knocked the fuck out of Kinoshita in round 1. Like that was crazy. 2 years ago, 2023, and I think it was like one of the Singapore cards that are always like really early. Ramiz is a gasser. Goff is all pressure all day. Yeah.
Well, I will be sweating if I take this decision, bro. I will be sweating late in this fight.
You're gonna sweat regardless of what you do this card, bro.
Yeah, fuck, man. It is a tough card.
Here's what I do: I take the cycle, but then do a small long shot on like the late finish. So if the cycle gets fucked, at least something hits.
All right, let's talk on this. This is the co-main, right?
Yes, sir. It's the co-main.
Chris Gamrot versus Ludovic Klein. Bro, every person I've talked to is on Ludovic Klein this week.
No.
I don't see it, truthfully. I think his win against Thiago Moises hasn't aged that great. I think that Gamrot is going to be the bigger guy here. I think he can get takedowns. I think he can also have some success on the feet just because of the threat of the takedowns, you know. I think Gamrot decision here, you know. Dude, I was looking at the Kimuras 35-1 on MGM. He got it against Jeremy Stevens back in 2021. I think Gamrot by submission's like plus 750. I think the KO is even longer. The decision's the most likely outcome of the fight, I believe, per the odds. I understand the logic for Ludovic Klein, 90+% takedown defense, short and stocky. His takedown defense looked so good in his last fight. But Gamrot's like Marab, bro. He doesn't care about getting every takedown. He's just going to keep being relentless, you know? And all he's going to have to do is get a couple to change the course of this fight. And although we think Gamrot is chinny, he gets knocked down, but like he's not getting put away by strike.
It's like Oliveira.
So obviously that can impact the scorecards, you know, like he can win minutes and then Klein can just win big moments to impact the scorecards. So I do see a world where Klein wins on the scorecards, but I like this to go the distance either way. And I think Gamrot wins at 29-28. We're forgetting some of the wins Gamrot has, bro. I mean, and Dan Hooker's like, say what you want about Dan Hooker, but he's a vet now, right? He just had a great performance against the wrestling of Gamrot, but he still got taken down 5 times, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like Gamrot beat RDA, Rafael Fiziev, Jalen Turner, like, you know, almost beat Benil Dariush, Sarukian. Like, he has good quality wins, bro. Arman Sarukian, you beat Arman Sarukian in a 5-rounder. It's like, can you not beat Ludovic Klein in a 3-rounder here?
And you got Klein.
I just think the line should be bigger. I think he should be over a 2-1 favorite here. But again, everyone's on the Ludovic Klein underdog of the week side.
Here's the thing. I like Klein, bro, but at the same time, he's got some underrated wins like Bahamundes. That's a great win, right? Like
Yeah, that's a great win. But that was before Bahamundes became the Bahamundes he is today, training with Bilal, and like he looks unreal.
Submitted him, and then you go up, and then you see these recent fights. They're all like short notice fights where he's going to decision. Like Nicholas Mota, he gets Roosevelt Roberts before Thiago Moises. He was meant to fight Joel Alvarez. Instead of that, he gets AJ Cunningham short notice. These are like not the highest quality of wins. And then Thiago Moises, which, as you mentioned moments before, that win has not aged that well because of Moises' last few performances. And I think Homo Fix, we posted earlier this week that Klein's has 5 knockdowns in the UFC. Gamrot's been knocked down 5 times. But he just survives. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you survive and if you're a wrestler that just keeps going. And you mentioned you compared him to Merab. True, he's like Merab, but the difference is Gamrot's got a serious finishing potential. He's got 5 submission wins, 8 KO wins as well. And earlier,
but he has finishes.
He does, and his striking's got power. The thing is, he's facing a lot of tough guys to finish on the feet, like Jalen Turner. Come on, that's a hard guy to finish on the feet. Rafael Fiziev, obviously one of the best strikers in the division. RDA, tough.
Problem is 2 of his KOs in the UFC were injuries. Not Jeremy Stevens, the Diego Ferreira fight, and then the Rafael Fiziev fight, right?
Yeah.
That's why.
But the thing is, the fact is, the striking is going to be there for him if he wants to. I don't think he should just rely on it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: the loss to Dariush, that was Dariush on a roll. That was the best Dariush we've ever seen against Gamrot at UFC 280. That was Dariush that many people said that he was the guy that was going to beat Islam Makhachev. He was the dark horse of the division, but Gamrot still was competitive in that fight. He just lost because he got knocked down, and he was fighting a guy that's a great grappler too in Beneil Dariush. Klein can grapple, but he's not this elite level grappler, right? He's more of a finisher, if that makes sense.
For sure. Guys, I moved the show to 8 o'clock, so that way on Thursday and Fridays, the breakdown show will be 8 p.m. Eastern, and then also the long shot only show with Hey Drive will be 8 p.m. Eastern. So just a heads up. You can watch the whole thing on YouTube or Twitter after, so you can scroll back and see every fight breakdown. All right, final answer. I'm going Gamrot by decision here.
I second that. Yeah.
Again, it is a tough matchup stylistically. I just think he can do enough. Let's move on to the main event.
Let's go.
Erin Blanchfield versus Macy Barber. Blanchfield minus 250. Is she still? What's she at right now? She's gone down a little bit. I see her at minus 225 or so. Macy Barber, a tough out, but also a decent stylistic matchup for Blanchfield. We see Macy Barber get taken down a ton by, I think, far worse wrestlers and grapplers than Erin Blanchfield. So I see a lot of love for underdogs on this card, bro. But again, another fight where am I crazy to just like the favorite here? She's tough. She has a chin. She can walk forward. She can get takedowns. She can have control time. She can threaten submissions. I just see the pat for Erin, bro, but everyone seems to love Macy Barber. I also like that Erin had that experience going 5 rounds with Filho, right? Because I feel like that is just a better version of Macy Barber. More technical, I think bigger, stronger. Macy Barber's violent, but like she's not as skilled as Filho, bro. She's just not. And like Erin Blanchfield, in hindsight, you look at the stats, it's like she got outstruck 172 to 130. Obviously, when you watch it on tape, it looked bad, but I feel like she bounced back good from that fight, beat Thug Rose, and I feel like Thug Rose and Fior are like 2 steps of Macy Barber, in my opinion. So I like the matchup for Erin Blanchfield. Everyone's begging me not to take Blanchfield by sub here. It's plus 425. I get 25 minutes to get a sub here. This reminds me of Sean Brady versus Leon Edwards, where Macy Barber never been submitted, I believe, right?
No, she's lost once to Tracy Cortez by decision.
Yeah, never been submitted, right, in the UFC. Leon Edwards never been submitted in the UFC. 5-round fight. Erin Blanchfield, submissions plus 425. Sean Brady, submission was plus 425. crazy deja vu here where it's a main event. It's a striker versus grappler. The striker had never been submitted in the UFC, and I was getting plus 425 on the grappler to get the sub. I'm getting crazy deja vu here. Tell me if I'm right or wrong, bro. What do you think?
Here's the thing. Barber's coming off an injury too. She's had a bad leg injury and she's bouncing back now. Another thing.
Here's me for a TKO injury though.
That's going to help you. Barber has never been in a 5-round fight. Never. While on the other hand, Blanchfield has been in a few 5 rounds.
A couple of them, yeah.
She fought Fioro, she fought Rose, and I think Andrade, I think that was a main event, if I'm not mistaken, or a co-main. But she's been in these high-level fights, right, with a lot of attention on them. The Tyler Santos one, if you recall, it was a 3-rounder, but it was a very intense fight where she had to kind of bite down on her mouthpiece and make it dirty to win. And I think there are going to be moments here where Barber's going to start finding success on the feet, but Blanchfield's going to be able to eat those shots, close the distance, take it to the cage, use her clinch, and if it goes to the ground, if you're playing Erin Blanchfield by decision, like I'm thinking I will, you're going to be nervous because Blanchfield's great on the ground. Like we saw the crucifix she had on Molly McCann. We saw what she did to Jessica Andrade, which at the time wasn't really that common, right? And then she can control fights. That's what I like about Blanchfield. She can dictate where the fight goes. Whereas Barber is much more comfortable if she's dominating the fight. If she's not in control of the fight, she tends to struggle a little bit. We've seen this against lower opposition. Granted, it was earlier in her career when she was fighting Modafferi, but she's had a lot of close fights. Like the Miranda Maverick fight was really close. The Andre Lee fight was very close as well. Even this Caitlin Sermonera fight, her last fight, didn't impress me that much, and it was quite close as well. And I feel like Blanchfield's going to get those takedowns to make it a differential if you do see the fight go in the distance, right? So, and I do believe the finish is possible.
I'll tell you one thing, and Macy Barber's so aggressive and violent that like I could see her doing something stupid and giving up her back too.
100%, yeah.
Like getting too reckless coming forward. Like an Erin Blanchfield's so good in like scrambles and positionally. I don't know. I just thought of that now. I'm like, maybe that's another scenario where Blanchfield can get her back. I don't know. I gotta believe that Blanchfield, if you give her 25 minutes to do it, is it a high probability she gets the sub? Maybe not, but at plus 425, I get 25 minutes to get a sub against a pure striker.
It's worth a shot, bro. It's worth a shot.
Blanchfield heel hook 50-1. You better chill, Dixon. You better chill.
Bro. Matty Spring. I don't know where the hell the guy found these odds, but that's crazy. I can see why
35-1 Kimura on Gamrot before I take that shit, bro.
That could happen, bro. I wish that fight was a 5-rounder too, to be honest with you.
Right.
I don't know why they could have made that one the main event too instead of this one, but I guess this is like a higher ranked fight. But sprinkling the round 4 and round 5 on Erin Blanchfield could be something good too.
100%. Speaking of Erin Blanchfield, our guys at Homa Fight did a face-to-face interview, our guy Jake, with Erin Blanchfield. So go check that out at homafight.com if you guys want to read or watch that interview or read the article. What else we got here? Also on the homafight.com site, you can go get the UFC Vegas 107 picks from Hayjive and Nolan. Code 107 gets you this weekend for free. Let's just build a simple 2-legger, bro, because there's not a lot we can do with this card. Give me your favorite play of the night, and then I'll give you mine. It's got to be like good plus money though. It can't be like some bullshit. So like you give me your favorite plus money play, I'll give you mine, and we'll build a 2-legger. The long shot show will be tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, boys.
I'm going to generate. Give me Dos Santos by submission at plus 500.
Oh, that's some crazy shit. What is it? At what?
Plus 500.
Yeah, that it fits that last year's trend. First fight of the night submission, bro. That shit was rolling for fucking months.
I forgot. That's true. There's always some trends in the UFC. We had the no KO trend for a bit too with the new gloves.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. Do we go first fight of the night sub, last fight of the night sub?
Ooh, that's crazy. And the two women MMA fights as well.
Yeah,
they were joking that we were going to do a women's MMA cycle parlay, but that's
the guy in the Longshots only show gives it out every week. He was 2 for 3 the one night. Let's just see what this would pay here, just out of curiosity. Aaron Blanchfield by submission plus 425. And then you really want to go with the
Yeah.
you sure you don't like anything else, bro?
I mean, in this card, there's nothing I really love, to be honest. And I think that
Dos
DeSantis,
Santos winning method by submission plus 500.
yeah,
30-1, bro, plus 3,050. $100 pays $3,050. Dos Santos submission, Aaron Blanchfield by submission. Let us know, chat. Think about tailing that shenanigans right there. Guys, like and subscribe on the video. If you came in late tonight, go to the Matty Best YouTube channel. You can watch the full thing. We'll be uploading it. And any last thoughts, JJ?
just be careful out there with this card. We got a big UFC 316 card next week, so always remember it's not about winning; it's about just surviving and making it to the fights that you really want to bet on. So I just say take your picks, but don't feel obliged to bet every single fight on the card. So that's what I got to say.
Fair. All right. And then what if you want to shout out your socials, bro, for anyone to check out?
Yeah, the Octagon Kings on Instagram and X. Give me a follow there, guys. I post some controversial takes on Twitter. I'm with the Homo Fight fam, so all the way to the top with them as well.
Yes, sir. Everybody, I'll be back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern with Hey Drive Picks. Come on. Make sure you give us your long shots for the Long Shots only show. We'll see you guys tomorrow night.
Appreciate having me on, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir.